Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shaukatali.
And a very good morning to you and welcome back after the Sinhala Tamil New Year holidays. But unfortunately, Sri Lanka seems to be engulfed in an absolute super duper, what shall we call it, a heat wave. And we've got with us, on top of all that, we have power cuts and so on. And Sri Lanka's dependency, in quite a lot of it is on, the dependency on power is on hydropower, over 800 megawatts of that. And so obviously this is having all sorts of impacts on there. And this morning we've got somebody here who will be able to shed light from the Met Department. They'll shed some light on this whole business of what's happening here. Is it really one of these record heat waves? We don't know. Let's find out. We've got here with us Ms. Anusha Surya, who is the Director of Forecasting at the Met Department. Very good morning to you, madam.
Very good morning.
Have I got it right? Director of Forecasting?
Yes, of course.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Now, madam, it's very, very hot. And I was looking at some figures from your from the Met Department. Some places 37.9. It sounds really hot. Is it?
Yeah, actually it's a really hot. But normally this time, normally from end of February to April and also until May,
right,
end of March, this is not quite abnormal. This is normal thing.
Okay.
But sometimes this 37 point, because this is comparative with the average temperature.
Right.
We have the northern part of the country. Normally this time the average temperature around 35, 36 during March and April.
Oh, I see. Okay. And what is the highest Sri Lanka has ever recorded in recent times?
According to our record, there was a 40.1 degrees at Vaunia in 1983, 10th of April.
Right. 1983.
1983.
So just over 40.
Yes.
That's the highest.
Highest, 40.1 something.
And how long do you think this heat wave will last, the current heat wave?
Actually, I should correct that word, heat wave.
It's not?
It's not a heat wave. Actually, heat wave, there is a definition.
Okay.
According to the World Meteorological Organization, the heat wave, when we can predict, we can say that it is heat wave if the average maximum temperature means daytime temperature, is more than 5 to 6 degrees above the climatological average, and it should be consecutive more than 5 days.
That's a
WMO.
So the average would be how much? 37, is it?
It depends on the area.
What's it like in Colombo?
Colombo is normally 30, 37, 32. 31, 32 like
That's
this.
The average.
That's the average during this month. It depends on the season and the month.
So if we were to declare a heat wave in Colombo, it would have to be at least 37 for
and
5
also
consecutive days.
It should last around more than 5 days.
Right.
Yeah.
I see.
But sometimes even in India, and also they are defining heat wave according to their climate and sometimes some countries they make their definitions.
I see. I see. And but this has got a big impact on coupled with the lack of rain into the reservoirs, and Sri Lanka has got around 800 plus megawatts of power that is depending on water. So if there are no rains, it doesn't help us with the power supply. And Mr. Ravi Karunanayake and his team will have to buy even more barges then. So, do you think there'll be some rain coming along?
Yes, of course. Even today also, we can expect some rain, especially central part of the country because the more reservoirs is there. So I think we can expect to, from today onwards. It's a good news. We can have afternoon thunder showers. But I should say, actually, normally we have in Sri Lanka we have 4 rainy season.
Right.
Normal, basically southwest monsoon, and it is spanned from the May to September, and also northeast monsoon from December to January. This is the main monsoon season.
Right.
We get the more than 60% of the average during these 2 monsoon season.
Right.
And also within that 2 monsoon season, we have 2 inter-monsoon period.
Right.
This is the first inter-monsoon period. March, April is the first inter-monsoon period, and second one is the October, November. You need least amount of rainfall. Normally we receive this first inter-monsoon period.
I see.
So we don't expect much rain during this season. I think last October, November also, although we got the considerable amount of rainfall, I think in the hydro catchment areas we didn't receive much enough rainfall. That is the season. Yeah, but I think from May, the southwest monsoon is due to start from the end of May, and we may receive some considerable rainfall. We can expect.
Now, you know this, we read somewhere that they go and do something with the clouds and then they make rain happen. Is that a good thing? I mean, does that really work?
Actually, this is the procedure, the enhancement of the rain. Actually, it is not the artificial rain. This process is the enhancement of the procedure of the rain. Actually, for that there are some basic requirements.
Okay.
One is there should be moisture, adequate moisture in the atmosphere. The vertical, when we get the vertical profile, and also there should be some mechanism to uplift the moisture to at the level at the condensation level.
Right.
And also there should be another thing. Actually, normally the cloud, the water condensed, there should be some space, or that is the cloud condensation nuclei.
Right.
That's the procedure. In that the rain enhancement project, they inject the cloud condensation small particles.
Right.
Silver iodide, likewise small particles, they inject into the cloud.
Right.
So that mechanism, we need the cloud and we need the moisture.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't just go and, if it's a clear skies.
Yeah, I think at the beginning there was a moisture, and after that the moisture level is reduced. So I think it was not possible
to continue.
Continue. Yeah.
So, but if you have the right profile, the right moisture and so on, then this system works.
Yeah, actually it will work, but I am not in the position to describe all the procedure, because I am talking on the meteorological part.
Yes, we understand that. Well, okay, but it sounds good that we can, technology these days can do that sort of thing. Now I want to ask you, Madam, now, how accurate is the Met Department? Forecasting.
Yes, I should say the forecast. Forecast word is, there is uncertainty.
Indeed.
Not in the Sri Lanka, in even all the globe, they talk about the forecast.
Yeah.
What is the forecast? Forecast means we are talking about the behavior of the atmosphere.
Yes.
It is not only the atmosphere, that means wind pattern. Wind is not confined to the small area. Wind is going around the globe.
Yeah.
So there are in the snowfall and also ocean and also land mass, everything is affected to that system. So that is why it is very difficult, and it is very complex to say about what will be the next.
And it is, as the word says, it's a forecast. It's like an estimate.
Yes, estimate. This is a forecast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how many staff do you have at the Met Department?
Yeah, we have the staff is there are several kind of staff, the meteorologist and also technical staff and also our administrative staff. I think all together around 400 people.
Do you need more people?
Yes, of course. And actually, when we got in the case of the meteorologists, we need more people because this is the evolving subject, and we need the more research.
Right.
Yeah. So actually,
how many of these 400 odd people are into research?
The research is only few people because we have we have some the operational. We are doing the 24/7 work. And we have to manage the airport office as well. Our split is working that airport also. And there should be five meteorologists working, around 10 meteorologists working at the 2 international airports.
Right.
Without meteorological people, international airport couldn't be.
Oh, so it's one of the requirements.
Well,
I see.
it's
No, I
a basic
didn't know
requirement.
That.
Yes,
right.
yeah.
There you go. You didn't know. A lot of people wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
But yes. Now, madam, how much of this problem, this high, temperatures, I'm not going to say heat wave because it's not a heat wave.
Yeah, yes.
Right? So, these high temperatures and this dry weather where the catchment areas haven't got enough water, and eventually it might even impact on farming and on the agriculture sector. But how much of this is due to climate change?
Yeah, actually there may be link with that climate change because the climate change is not confined to the small area. When we increase the greenhouse gas in the atmosphere, it is there may be one or two responsible countries, but the effect is for all of us. So there may be an impact.
Yeah.
But in the case of the evaporation, we I think cut the tree. There may be one big problem. Yeah. Deforestation.
So how important is replanting?
Yeah, replant is very important because in the case of the climate change, the carbon dioxide, we call the main greenhouse gas.
Yeah.
When we grow the tree, it is the one storage of the carbon dioxide.
Right.
Yeah, and also on the other hand, it gives the some it constrains the evaporation, and also it gives some cool environment for us. So, and also everything, I think replantation is very important.
So, is it a good idea when you have your the seeds of any fruit that you eat and so on, the seeds, is it a good idea for people to keep them safe and then when you're traveling about to throw them into areas to encourage?
But I saw that
yes, I was in WhatsApp.
But because I think I am not in the position to talk about this one because this is some, I don't know, biodiversity. I don't know. That is why I am not in a position to answer this question.
Yes.
Yeah. But
It
replantation.
sounds a good idea to replant.
Yeah. I think it is also there are some mechanism, and gradually, I don't know that this might be, maybe, but I am not in a position because it is, I think it's a biodiversity also we have to consider.
What about school children? Does the Met Department have any programs that you visit schools or the children visit you?
Yes. In each and every year, more than 30,000 school children came to our department.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in curricula there are some parts about the disasters and also the instruments, meteorological instruments, and also not only school children and university students, and 3 forces, Navy, Air Force, Army, and police officers, and also government officers, most of them, and come to our department and visit, and we also give some resource person as a visit their institute as a resource person.
And madam, what about the equipment that you all have? Is it old and old-fashioned?
Yeah.
How?
There are some. Yeah. There are, as you mentioned, the most of people talking about we have the one old equipment.
Yeah, antiquated equipment.
As I mentioned earlier, we are talking about the global feature, not only for the Sri Lanka. So there are some actually very interesting and very important mechanism all over the globe in the related the Met Department. We are the members of the World Meteorological Organization, mostly all the Met Department in the globe, and we take the observation at instant moment. We are not working in the local time. We are working the Greenwich time. 0, 100 UTC likewise.
Yeah.
This the same. When we go to the Greenwich time, the time is same at each and every country.
Yeah.
When we talking about the Greenwich time.
Yeah.
So we are working on that, and also instrument also there should be a standard instrument.
Okay.
All over, because we are comparing the old data. So that data should be measured by standard instrument and standard time and standard way.
So are these instruments in Sri Lanka on par with the rest of the world or not?
Yes,
really?
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which ministry does it come under your?
We are now at the Ministry of Public Administration and Disaster Management at the moment.
Okay, okay. And what are you lacking? What do you need?
Yeah, actually, there are some website you also know about the AccuWeather. Likewise, there are numerical weather prediction.
Yeah.
It's numerically we calculated what will be the next in the regard of the weather.
Yeah.
So we have to improve in that part also, and also the human capacity.
Yeah.
And also human resource.
So one of the problems, like you mentioned, this deforestation, people cutting down trees and so on. Don't you think that these people who go and engage in unauthorized, unplanned deforestation, do you think they should be named and shamed and action taken against them?
Yeah, I think so.
This is quite essential, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, Newsline, and there's a viewer here who says that all those who clear unauthorized areas, mainly politicians, ministers, and their henchmen, should be fined very heavily, and they ought to be named and shamed. I quite agree. It's essential that that sort of thing happens. Well, we've got several people who are saying the same sort of thing, that deforestation is something that's happening with people who are holding on to power and sometimes misusing them. Good point, thank you. So, Madam, what in a perfect world, what do you need? What do you need to make the Met Department better?
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, the human capacity, because also in the top of the list, and also as I mentioned, the numerical weather prediction. That means it consists with the high power computer capacity.
Yeah.
Because when we are talking about the forecast 1 or 3 days or 9 days ahead, and also we are doing the seasonal forecast, monthly forecast, and also climate projections. Climate projections means in the regard of the climate change, what will be in the next 100 years, the temperature and rainfall, what will be. So that likewise we have to do some mathematically and scientifical calculation. So we need to improve this side especially, and also I have to mention, we are in the tropic, close to the equator, and we are in the tropics. So with that, Department of Meteorology in Sri Lanka facing the significant challenges rather than the mid-latitude countries. This is the one challenge with us.
I see. And we've got people who are commenting about the climate change and the need for people to be aware that you can't be just cutting trees here and there. And one message says that people should now make better use of their smartphones, and if they see what they think is unauthorized deforestation, then they should use their phones and do one of those Google location things, save it, and then send that to wherever you want to. Like you can send it to the forestry department, you can send it into the media, so you can certainly send it into Newsfirst. We would always look at it, and then we can investigate it. That'll be good use of your smartphone and the facilities that these phones now offer us. And another thing, of course, is the removal of sand, the illegal sand mining that goes on. And last time when we looked at the disaster management, the problem with the disasters, the flooding, quite often you'll find that the rivers have eroded, the banks are not maintained properly, the river mouths are not cleared, and there's a lot of illegal sand mining going on. In some areas, the river has moved ever so close together because of the things not being maintained. And if you compare that with the rivers in Thailand, for example, you'll see what we mean. If you go up onto Google Earth, you can see. If you look at the rivers in Thailand and you look at Sri Lanka, you'll see what I'm talking about. In Thailand, it's quite uniform, meaning that they're maintaining it. And so people should be fully aware, more aware of the environment, rather than constantly shouting about the lack of power. There's a lack of power, but there's a story behind everything.
Yeah.
And it's not always because officials fail you. So that's something to be more aware. Well, what do you teach the children when they come there? What do they see when they come to the Met
It depends on
Department?
their level.
Right.
There are some small children and the A-level students.
Yeah.
According to the age limit and the requirements,
Yeah.
we normally, the school children, we aware about the instrument and also natural disaster. How to prepare, how to be aware about and prepare for that natural disasters.
Right.
And also, they're mostly A-level and university student about, they asking about the climate change.
Indeed.
And also the officials for their arrangements for the natural disasters. It depends on the audience.
Well, Madam, thank you very much for coming on Newsline and explaining what goes on there. These high areas, when do you think the temperatures start going to come down?
Yeah, actually good news. From today onwards, we will have the afternoon thunder showers, and there are high possibility for showers from during these 2 weeks. So with that, temperature will be little bit the apparent temperature, what we feel, it's getting a little bit getting down, and during next few days I think it will not much effect for the health, but still there are some small possibility for the northern half of the country. There are some possibility, but I think good news, according to our data, current data, it is going down.
The high temperatures and this warm weather, sustained warm weather, will it lead to any form of medical problems?
Yes, of course. Of course. And also we prepared the heat index forecast. That is not to the maximum temperature, it is what we feel, that means apparent temperature. According to the temperature limits, it's and it will affect to our health. I think it's better to take medical advice, because it affect in every there are several ways.
It can affect. And I suppose the most obvious thing would be to drink plenty of water, clean water. Healthy water. On that note, thank you very much for being on Newsline again. And just as we end, I'd like to share the sadness with the people of France and the fire at that wonderful landmark, historical building, the Cathedral Notre Dame, where one of the spires has come tumbling down thanks to a fire. And some of the good news is that the French president has said that they will rebuild it. And already a French billionaire has assured the French public that 100 million euro will be made available by himself and his companies, no doubt. So Sri Lanka shares with the people of France their agony in terms of the fire at the Cathedral Notre Dame. And the French people are not alone. We are with you. Very well, très bien. And that's it from Newsline. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead. And of course, God bless.
News First, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.